Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how to make this Aaliyah costume, so stay tuned. Okay guys, so I'm going to go ahead and use this silver rhinestone mesh trim that I got from Hobby Lobby for $5. So I caught it on sale. So I'm just going to outline this bikini top with that. I'm going to do it in 2 halves and try to meet it in the middle. It's kind of going to be off a little bit, but if you look at the bra that Aaliyah wore, it's off a little bit. It's not exactly directly in the middle, so yeah, we're gonna trace it. Okay, so I'm just cutting out 2 pieces, 1 piece, 2 piece. I'm gonna hand sew this on because the padding in the bra is going to be a nightmare to try to sew with the sewing machine. Okay, so I'm taking my needle and thread. You can use clear thread, you can use silver, white, either one. It'll camouflage because of the rhinestones. Okay, so I'm just going to pin it down so I can make sure I do it exactly as close to that bottom part as possible. Okay guys, now I'm about to make the belt. I literally just cut a piece of the rhinestone and I folded it in half, and then I'm going to add some ribbon that I had left over and just my little craft box. I'm going to sew that to the end. Just hand sew it one side and then hand sew the other. Okay, so I'm actually going to connect the belt together using these grommets. I had them left over from my last video, so I'm just going to use those. And then just poking a hole in both sides. Using my little tool here. Push them together. And then I'm actually going to use this trim that I have left over in order to connect the two sides and just tie them together. So I'm going to go ahead and use this leather garter that I bought for a costume party that I'll probably never wear again. So I'm going to go ahead and repurpose that and use it to make the belt loops for my belt. Because at the bottom of the pants you have to have that little finding at the end to connect the chains. So I'm just going to use that to connect it. So I'm going to sew just 2 seams, one at the top, one at the bottom. And definitely make sure your belt will fit in between the loopholes, because you don't want to make it too small and then your belt does not fit. So definitely make sure you leave enough room. So I'm just going to pin and sew. You can actually use the sewing machine for this part, not a big deal, or you can hand sew it, whichever one you prefer. Just going to pin it in place and make sure it's spaced out correctly, because you don't want it too far apart or one really off. Just make sure you are aware of how the spacing in between. So I did 2 on the front, 2 on the back. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use this chain that I got from Joann's, and I'm going to put that on the bottom of the belt loop. I'm going to open this up using jewelry pliers and just connect it to the front, from front to back. So one side you're going to connect the front one to the back one, the other side you're going to do the same thing, and you're going to squeeze them closed using the jewelry pliers. Okay, so I'm just going to add the belt in here and demonstrate on how you would tie it. You would just tie it in a bow. I wouldn't suggest knotting it because you probably have to cut it. Depending on what you use, maybe you could knot it, but yeah, this trim is not going to allow me to knot it. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the collar slash choker. I'm going to go ahead and use that ribbon left over that I used on the belt. I'm going to add the grommets to the end. Use my little tool to close them together. And then I'm going to use that leather garter to add that, to create the collar. Just gonna cut that here. Gonna sew it on. Again, you can hand sew it, or you can sew it with the sewing machine. So I'm also going to use this silver mesh ribbon that I bought from Dollar Tree to kind of create more of a base for the rhinestone mesh. I also wanted to just kind of get an idea of how wide it needed to be for it to be comfortable on my neck. And this was about the length I needed it to be. But you don't have to do this. I did this just to kind of, so it wouldn't be so you can see right through to the black ribbon. So you can always double it up with the rhinestone mesh if you like, but I just used ribbon instead. So I'm going to sew this on there. Side note, if you wanted to use silver ribbon, you could actually do that too, instead of the black ribbon I have. This is just what I had left over. Okay, so now I'm going to add that rhinestone mesh, and I'm going to use that mesh ribbon underneath as a kind of a pattern to figure out how wide I need it to be. I'm using that as a pattern. So I'm going to trim that down, and then I'm going to hand sew this on the collar. Once that is complete, I'm going to go ahead and tie these little pieces of leftover fabric I had to the ends and create it's the same idea I did with the belt, just tying it into the grommet so we can tie it together. And then we are done. So now you have your own Aaliyah outfit. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.